how did you feel about Ronnie's look in 2003? Was it when you saw it, you like holy shit? Or
backstage, I was confident. When I went in that show, I said I'm going to win the Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
I had already won everything that year. I won the Arnold, all the Grand Prix. I won the Ironman that year. I was the biggest thing in bodybuilding at that point, like coming up strong, and I was getting better. And Coleman shows up and takes his clothes off backstage, and I just said, "Oh shit!" I said, "Oh shit!"
Really, the great Jay Cutler. You said, "Oh shit!" You do it. Wasn't he like 280 pounds that year? Something ridiculous.
They say 276. They said 287, but I heard the real number was around 270. You know how big a bodybuilder is it?
Yeah.
We exaggerate our weights, right?
Yeah.
He was just outrageous.
Yeah.
With that condition, that was the crazy thing. And, that was the best version of Ronnie Coleman we ever saw.
Yeah.
And we will ever see on a stage, I believe, package, because no one's going to have that hamstring glute tie-in, crazy striations in the back and the peak biceps and be symmetrical like that. Like they talk about Rami being like the next whatever, but he doesn't have the flow that Ronnie Coleman had. And I knew I lost, but I kept going.
Is it hard to compete when you're backstage and prejudging hasn't happened yet and the guy strips down and you kind of know? Is it hard to get out there and still give 100%, or do you just keep going anyway?
I still was confident that I was going to do well. Remember, I was still second. I don't know who was third that year. I don't know if it was third.
Well, those years were always you and Ronnie.
Yeah. I had seen Coleman. We did a photo shoot like 8 weeks out for Fleck. Gunter was there. That was the year they hyped Gunter, too, if you remember, because he won in 02, right? He beat Ronnie at the show of strength.
Yep.
And I remember seeing Ronnie, and what the crazy part is, Fouad, I didn't realize what was coming in the next weeks,
Yeah.
Because he was still pretty big. We exposed at Lonnie Keep show in June, which did every year, him and I. And he was big as hell. He was probably 320, but he was heavy,
Yeah.
And I was in better shape, condition-wise. But he was always big. I knew he was just a bigger guy than me.
Yeah.
And when he showed up at the Olympia, I was like, damn, that was a crazy transformation. And